Have you ever had one of those moments where you're reading something and you suddenly look at something and say to yourself,
oh my God, what is this? What is going on at the minute in Greater Manchester?
honest to God, he's got to get his cues right when we do this. Basically now in Greater Manchester, they're now doing what is called a clean air zone. Well, they're thinking about it anyway.
They're trying to.
So, we know this has been rolled out in certain parts of the country. Birmingham, Portsmouth, Birmingham, Portsmouth, and we also know obviously that London have their congestion zone.
And had it for a while.
And it seems to be working okay right now. But for some strange reason, this clean air zone in Manchester just doesn't feel right.
No, because what they've done, they did try to make it massively big. In fact, they took it all around the perimeter of Greater Manchester. So it was going out as far out as Newton the Willows, which we know is absolutely miles away.
Basically, if you're looking at it right now, you're looking at the sort of like the 10 boroughs of Manchester, the Greater Manchester, which is all like being involved in all this. But it's just what they're trying to say you can't do, which has got us a little bit...
Well, it's got the taxi industry a little bit, well, concerned. If you're not inside Manchester, if you're not part of the 10 Manchester boroughs, it has got you a little bit concerned.
If you don't know what we're on about, go online, read the Manchester Clean Air Zone, and you'll see it under the Manchester Evening News post that, you know, Andy Burnham, the mayor of Greater Manchester, has decided to come out with this idea. Now, obviously, we've not spoken to Andy Burnham, and
not yet.
We don't know if Andy Burnham watches these podcasts.
He might do.
If you do, how are you, Andy? Nice to meet you. But what we want to know is what do you actually mean by you just want local taxis doing all the work in Manchester and you don't want outside taxis coming into your area?
Outer area taxis working in Greater Manchester. What he wants the 10 boroughs of Greater Manchester to only do the work in Greater Manchester. That means outside plates, which are Sefton licences, Wolverhampton licences, won't be allowed to work in Greater Manchester.
But as we all know, and we've been having this conversation for so like months and months and months, that the fact of the matter is, if you're a private hire company and somebody books you to go into the area, that is absolutely fine. You don't have a problem with it whatsoever. But if that's the case, then what is the point of this whole thing of charging all the taxis the way he wants to charge them, and saying that he doesn't want the out-of-town taxis coming in?
Because what he's saying with that, which I think is completely and utterly ridiculous, what he's saying is that the compliance tests for out-of-town taxis aren't as stringent as Greater Manchester, as the 10 boroughs, the 10 councils of Greater Manchester. Now, if you go to places like Rochdale and Oldham, which are part of the 10 boroughs of Greater Manchester, and look at some of their vehicles, they are well old and well not compliant with my licence is Sefton, Lee's licence is Sefton as well. We are very compliant. So he hasn't been round the 10 borough cab companies, because there's some really old prices knocking about.
We don't even know what age of car are we talking about here, and is it a case of, if you get an electric vehicle, is it going to be a different kind of charge to what it is to someone who's driving a diesel car, for instance? We just don't know yet. He's not made this anything clear, which is just getting on our nerves.
And also, this clean air should have been in operation as of July. It's all being stopped again, so there's no one knows what's going to happen. The feeling is that it's going to only work in Manchester City Centre, which is correct. That's how it should work in Manchester City Centre, because congestion down there is appalling. But looking at out-of-town taxis work in the area, he's trying to stop cars coming in. But deregulation happened, and especially Uber work in Greater Manchester. How many Sefton plates work in Greater Manchester? Thousands. So they'd all have to come out of Greater Manchester. The lads who work in Manchester have to re-license in Manchester, which is not easy to do, and it just completely queered the pitch. Also, how many local cab companies in Manchester working on Wolverhampton licences? If that was the case, they'd have to go as well. It doesn't make any sense. Manchester is becoming the second city. It's overtaken Birmingham now as the second city. So,
strong claim. It's a strong claim.
It is, because obviously all the BBC, all the ITV now are all in Manchester. You know, 5 Live comes from Manchester now. Match of the Day comes from Manchester now. So it's taken over, and the amount of building going on in Manchester now is unbelievable. The house prices in Manchester are raising up as well. So it is becoming the second city, and out-of-town cars, especially Uber, a lot of people love them or hate them. Uber are very, very popular in Manchester. Now, if you taking away, okay, the blokes who are working the 10 boroughs will love it. They're thinking, yeah, this is brilliant. There's more work for us because our out-of-towners can't come in. But it doesn't work like that anymore.
There was one little part of the paragraph which I was kind of attracted to with it, which was the fact where they went like that and they said in the, like I said, go online and read it, don't take my word for it, this is just what we read, is that he would like all local taxis to be of one colour, really, to sort of like prove that they are local taxis and all that. How are you going to work that one? All the taxis going in for a paint job?
It's fanciful, isn't it, really? Yeah, I know. Brighton.
Is this going to be like the GMT buses that were back in Manchester? Is all your taxis now going to have to be orange and white? Is that what's going to happen?
That used to be the case, didn't it?
That orange and white. Just to prove so. No, come on. Look, all we want to know is basically what's the script with the clean air zone? What are you going to be charging for it? Is it going to be viable? Because let's put it like this, the cost of living's actually gone up right now. You're always making it harder to be a taxi driver at the best of times. You know, and let's put it like this, there is people who've actually sort of like dropped out of the taxi industry as well to go into other careers. So we just want a bit more clarification on things, and this would be great if people who watch this in Portsmouth, Birmingham, what's happening with your clean air zone? How much do you get charged? What's the script on this? Because we tried to do the research on it. It's not coming up for us. We can't seem to find it. But if you know, can you please leave a comment at the bottom and let us know, please?
It works well. In Birmingham, the congestion charge works well. Birmingham City have got cars working from other areas running in there as well. I can work in Birmingham on a second licence, no problem at all, as is Nottingham, Leicester, Derby.
But that's because you've been booked by the
home,
so that's it. So that's it. This is where we get this same old argument.
So does that mean because you've also read this and I read it, but I can't remember it now. That means Uber. So if I'm in the centre of Manchester and I order my Uber, then Accept and Play can come and pick it up still.
Well, that would be the thing, wouldn't it? Because that would, but. This is why I'm saying it just seems a completely stupid argument.
Because the person's booked it.
Because the person's booked it.
So,
if that's the case, Mr. Burnham, are you trying to say that it's only Manchester taxis now that you want around Manchester? Which that means when it comes to us dropping people off at Manchester Airport, we can't go and pick these people back up again? Is it the fact that if we take people up to Manchester on a night out, that's absolutely fine, but then we can't pick them back up again? Is it almost like you are alienating every single out-of-side taxi that we can't come into Manchester?
And what he's saying, and the reason he's saying it is because of clean air. The cars are better quality from the 10 Manchester boroughs. That is complete nonsense, because they're not. The cars are not better quality from the 10 Manchester boroughs, because all prices are not going to. Okay, maybe Manchester City Council ones are good, and they're all right, because I haven't seen a bad Manchester City Council one, but I have seen them from Bury. I've seen some very old cars on Bury. I've seen some very old cars on Rochdale.
Well, are we talking like a Granada from like 1984?
I'm talking. It's mainly Priuses. It's mainly like really old 2006 Priuses pumping out like loads of black smoke out the back of the car.
I want to see an old Granada back on the road. An old Granada 3-litre Gaia. That's why I want to see on the road.
I saw one of them in the Sweeney last week.
Oh no, that's the Mark 1. I want the Mark 2. The Mark 2 are lovelier.
You're a car.
I am.
Car. Yes, a bit of a Top Gear fanatic.
I am.
But that to me is like that. You know what he's trying to. What is to
it's
me?
Just not clear. It's not clear. You're not making it clear on what you want us to do, and there's no charges. You're not telling us exactly what's going to do. Listen, if that's the case, are you actually hitting the airport right now for sort of like clean air charges? Because if you're going to be hitting the cars, you're going to have to hit the airports as well.
Yeah, it's like as if they're making an issue out of it. He's trying to blame the out-of-town cabs for Manchester's clean air problems, but the clean air problems come from Manchester roads being so cloggy, so bad. The city centre is an absolute nightmare to get around.
Let's put it like this. There's that other little thing that you see as well. On the side of buses right now, there's a polar bear on the back, and it says, if you get on this bus, you know what I mean, we can take 75 cars off the road and blah, blah. No, because no one wants to use public transport, really. Everybody wants to use their car or jump in a taxi. It's a lot quicker. Or even better, get the train. No one really wants to be sitting on a bus.
But at the minute, because of the hot weather, they cancel loads of trains.
They have been cancelling
loads
of trains.
Because the lines melted. The lines melted. Come on.
It's just, you know, why are you making the job a lot harder for like people like us who are trying to make a living? You know what I mean? And listen, I'm all for the fact that sort of like you want to sort of like encourage more Manchester drivers to probably take up a taxi license and everything else. That's great. Well done indeed. I hope people go for it. But make it a bit more clear on exactly what it is you wanted to do.
The thing is, I don't think they know. I don't think they know.
But if it works in Birmingham and it works in Portsmouth, why is it not working here? And the fact of the matter is, why is it not being rolled out more across the country? Why are people like in Newcastle, Sheffield, Leeds, Liverpool, why are they not all taking up this clean air zone too?
And it should only be in city centres, really, shouldn't it? It should only be, because that's where the biggest congestion is, in the city centres. That's where it congests up. It doesn't congest up on country lanes. Where I was driving through Newton the Willows yesterday on a country lane, and they still have the sign up for the clean air zone. I thought, we're on a country lane. There's no traffic on that lane, but that would have been included before they stopped it in the clean air zone. And also, it cost a fortune putting them signs up.
Look, we're not saying that's all like, you know, we want to turn into environmentalists and everything else. We're all supporting sort of like what Greta Thunberg does.
Yeah,
and good on you, love. You do what you want to do. But my point is this. The car was put there for a reason. To get us from A to B. Everyone's still going to use their car. It ain't going to matter. And no matter how many times you charge us and charge us and charge us, it's still not going to make people get out of their cars. They're still going to use it.
Central London has had the ULEZ charge and the congestion charge, and them roads are still blocked up. So
it doesn't matter. You can put as many cycle lanes as you want, and as we all know.
Why do that? Because this isn't Amsterdam, is it? Why? Well, cycle lanes never worked. Do you remember the road in Liverpool called West Derby Road? Right, and during COVID, they put up cycle lanes. No one. It just caused congestion on the roads. I don't think I ever seen one cyclist on that.
I don't know.
It just made West Derby Road into Liverpool city centre very congested. They took it away now.
I'm all for the fact that sort of like, you know, do things that help the environment and everything else, and that's absolutely great. But don't start sort of like hitting people whose bread and butter is to go out, pick people up, take them to where they want to go. Stop charging us a goddamn fortune. It's already bad enough with car insurance, the rent, the amount of how much you pay for your plate, how much you got to pay for the medical every time that we're doing this job. It's just getting beyond the joke. And now you want to charge the motorist, taxi driver,
especially the taxi driver,
you know, for coming into the area.
It's
stupid.
Do you know what it is? Easy target. That's all it is. I'm thinking by taking out of town taxis out with the 10 Manchester boroughs, we'll get rid of the clean, we'll make the air cleaner. Fanciful. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. It's just going to cause more problems than what it's worth.
It is. You know what? And I know exactly someone who's going to have a problem with this. Gary Jones. Gary Jones, I know you're out there and I know you're watching this, Gary Jones. Hey, Gary, you ever want to sort of meet up for a cup of coffee one time? That's fine. Let's go meet up for a cup of coffee. I don't mind that well at all. But Gary Jones, just remember, I'm watching you, fella. Not a problem at all. You keep it safe and you keep on sort of like telling us exactly what you think, because, hey, we appreciate everything you do. Thanks, Gary. Much appreciated to you. But on a lighter note, folks, and I think we come to the end of the show, dear. Or is there anything else you want to get off your chest?
No. Everything's good. Yeah. So that's it. Manchester, the clean air zone in Manchester. If you are especially if you're an Uber driver and you live in Manchester and you're on the Sefton plate, like will you not be able to work in the city? I think you'd be able to work in the
Anybody
city.
who knows the exact sort of rules of this,
I think
can
they
you
know.
please let us know, because we haven't got a clue.
I
So
don't-
can you let us know about it?
I don't think Andy Burnham knows properly. I don't think the Manchester City Council know properly. I just don't think that it's become the farce of the green air zone, of the clean air zone. It's become just Manchester's biggest farce. When they could, from day one, they could have just said, right, the city centre, if your vehicle is below 2006 or 2007 or through 2010, whatever it is, normally I think it was 2010, you're going to be charged £6.50 a day to come into the city centre. That would have been it. But no. Oh, no.
Hang on, is that £6.50 a day? So that means if you go out the area and come back in again, you can't get charged, or is it going to be on every single journey? If you
I
make
think it's
it?
just a daily thing, isn't it?
Is it a daily thing?
Well, then again, who knows? Because nothing's been secured. As it stands today, which is July the, what day is it today?
22nd.
July the 22nd. Nothing's been finalised. No plan is in place. But there's street signs all around Greater Manchester talking about a clean air zone. It hasn't happened.
The signs are up, but with a big line going through them at this moment in time. So
it's
you know,
under review.
It's under review.
It to me, it's just made Manchester, which has now become the second city, look like they don't know what they're doing. That's it from this one. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you for the people who have subscribed so far. If you haven't subscribed already,
subscribe.
And I've now got to go now to switch the camera off. Where's the cameraman to do this? He's not here again, is he?
He's not. But hey, folks, don't forget.
We got a cameraman.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day. And Gary, keep up the good work, mate. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye bye.